10-year-old Dakota Stevens tragically passed away in April of 2024. His cause of death has been ruled a homicide caused by mechanical asphyxia, and the person responsible for his death was his foster parent, Jennifer Wilson, a 340-pound, morbidly obese woman. She killed him by sitting on his head and neck. She suffocated him. And the circumstances around the entire situation are very shocking and tragic. Take a look.
This did not have to happen. He didn't have to die. He just wasn't being monitored by someone that actually cared about him.
An Indiana foster mother gets locked up as she now faces charges in connection to the death of her foster child. 48-year-old Jennifer Lee Wilson is charged with reckless homicide for the death of her foster son, Dakota Stevens. Officers say they made contact with a neighbor who said Dakota ran to her house about 30 minutes before emergency crews arrived. The neighbor told investigators the young boy asked her to adopt him because his parents hit him in the face and didn't let him call his caseworker.
And you saw that, you heard that. Now, Jennifer Wilson, she's currently being charged with reckless homicide. And unfortunately, this charge only carries a sentence of 6 years in prison. So this little boy, Dakota, he spent the last 5 years of his life in foster care, in and out of foster care homes. He won't even get the adequate justice that he deserves. I feel like this woman should get the book thrown at her. She should not be able to see the light of day. She should spend the rest of her days in prison. And I'm sorry if that's too harsh, but I just feel like if you do anything to harm kids, little kids, then you deserve whatever bad karma comes your way. And mind you, the way that she disciplined her child by suffocating him, this was done in public. There's like surveillance videos, multiple surveillance videos that detail what happened, how she like suffocated this child. So the fact that she did this in public, that tells me everything I needed to know about what was going on behind the scenes, because she's under the care of multiple kids are under her care. So what goes on behind closed doors with these kids if they act up, if they act unruly? What is she doing to them? In fact, days prior to Dakota's death, he actually ran away to a neighbor's house and explained to them that she actually struck him in the face. Now, the neighbor didn't see any visible injuries on the boy, but the boy wanted to be adopted by this neighbor. And this boy, like I said, he spent multiple years in and out of foster care homes. There have been multiple attempts to adopt this little boy, and they've all been unsuccessful. So going all the way back to 2018, his biological parents were ruled to be unable to care for him and his siblings, so therefore they were all placed in foster care. Now, before I talk about the fact that this very obviously obese woman defied the laws of physics, let's just talk about how broken the foster care system is and how it affects little kids growing up. Now, little kids, they need to grow up in a stable household. I feel like that produces the best outcomes for children. And the foster care system, unfortunately, puts these kids at a disadvantage. They're already having to deal with impossible situations. They have to grow up against all odds and, be successful in society. And kids in the foster care system, they tend to suffer from traumatic experiences which affect them later in life. They're much more likely to engage in detrimental behaviors like addiction, like violent crimes. Now, in the case of Dakota Stevens, he's somebody that was deemed as an unruly child. He was somebody that had behavioral issues. However, as a foster parent, you should be able to deal with children that appear to be unruly. You should be able to adequately discipline them within reason, of course, without you shouldn't do what this woman did, basically, because what she did was obviously wrong. They're treating it as reckless homicide, involuntary manslaughter, but a little child died and his death was preventable, and she's most definitely unfit to be a foster parent. Clearly, obviously, her license was revoked, rightfully so. Now, on the day that he passed away, he actually tried to run away. But Jennifer Wilson, she was able to find him, and he was acting up. Mind you, they were in public. So she ended up sitting on his head and neck while she was on the phone with her with his caseworker, and she was on top of him for several minutes. He was heard screaming on surveillance videos, and she did not get off of him. Even as he became unresponsive, she remained on top of him. She even called his name multiple times. He was not responding, and it wasn't until she literally got off of him and rolled him over and she saw his lifeless body, like, she realized, like, what she had done. And this is my thing. Given her age and the fact that she is 340 pounds, how is she even fit to be a foster parent? Because the fact that she's 48, I'm assuming that she's on some type of medication, maybe multiple medications. She has multiple chronic illnesses due to being morbidly obese. She is definitely someone that eventually needs to be taken care of because of how burdensome obesity is to society. So how is she fit to take care of little kids? It makes absolutely no sense to me. But hey, those are my thoughts and feelings. A quick video for you guys. I want to hear from you. What are your thoughts and feelings about this whole situation? Obviously, it's completely preventable. She deserves to be in jail for the rest of her life. I'm sorry. You know, when you come after little kids, when you hurt little kids, you deserve nothing but bad karma. But yeah, like I said, I want to hear from you. If you enjoy videos like this, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. I'm Tasia Woods, and I'll see you next time.